Hello everyone, and welcome back to the obligatory phone collection video that I do every once a year. So now it's 2022, and I think my collection has grown a considerable amount since last time. So what I think I'm going to do is, last time I showed the phones that I was going to repair and I was going to sell probably. I'm not going to do that for this episode. Not really episode, but I'm not going to do it for this phone collection because there's just too much stuff to cover, really. And besides, moving on forward, I'm going to have a lot more phones, so it would just be easier to knock off the phones that I'm going to be not going to be having, since they're not going to be in my collection no longer. But enough rambling, let's get on to the flip phones first. First up on the list, this is a Siemens A55. Got this in the Target bin, and it didn't really have a battery, so yeah. Next is this Doro Phone Z626, I believe. Yep, it doesn't have a battery, and put on charge, and it didn't really work. I figure I just need a battery for it though. Next is this Nokia 5120. I got this from the Target bin in late October 2020, I think. And yeah, this is fully working. Besides the battery, because, you know, battery is an old phone. Next is this Motorola V325i, I believe. But yeah, this fully works. Got from the Target bin in April. Next is this LG Sprint Musics. I got this from one of my friends, and it pretty much fully works. Next is this Pantech Crux. This is also fully working. Got from the Target bin. Then we got a Virgin Mobile flip phone, Virgin Mobile Audio Vox phone. Doesn't have a battery, but I did get the charger for it and it works. I got it from my local Target. Next is this LG NV Touch. Got this. The inside screen is still broken, but other than that, it works. Next is this Alcatel Tracfone. I forget the model number of this, but it had a bloated bad. No, wait. No, this does work. It's just it doesn't have a SIM card, and it needs a SIM card to operate. So yeah. Next is this Doro Phone Z618. This is fully working. Next is this LG NV2, I believe. And yeah, this also fully works. I should stop saying they all fully work. They're all in the collection for a reason. This is a LG, I forgot what this is, but this, one of my friends, the same friend that gave me the LG Musics also gave this to me. I don't want the charger for it. Next is this Alcatel T-Mobile flip phone. Yeah, this fully works. Then we have this Alcatel Consumer Cellular flip phone. It's on iOS and it also works. Next is this Samsung Jitterbug flip phone. This fully works. Then we have this Samsung Singular flip phone. It fully works. Then we have this Sony Ericsson. This also doesn't have a charger, so I can't really test it out, but I figure it will work. Next is this Toshiba Sprint Audio Vox phone. I don't know if it works or not because I don't have the charger for it, but I probably think it would. Next is this Nokia 2620 Flip, I believe. This doesn't have a charger, and I don't know if it works. Next is this Samsung Rugby 3. This also fully works. Then we have a LG Verizon phone. This one also works. Then we have this Samsung Tracfone. The back was cracked and it was apparently water damaged, but other than that, it works. I just need a SIM for it. Next is this LG Verizon flip phone. This also works. Then we have this LG flip phone. I don't have the charger for it still. It will probably work. And then we got this Motorola WX345. This also works. Then we have this LG B470. This also works. Then we have this LG Exalt. Also works. We have this ZTE phone. The speaker I apparently broke somehow because it was already wonky, and I actually broke it trying to fix it. This is a Samsung flip phone. It has a bloated battery, but other than that it works. It's only slightly bloated. And then we have the Samsung Behold. I don't have the charger for this, so I don't know if it works or not. Next is this Samsung flip phone. I have no idea if, I don't think it works. I put it on the charger and it just stayed on the red light for a long time and just never bothered to turn on. Next is this Nokia AT&T flip phone. The battery was bloated and I don't know if it works. Then we got the Samsung Gusto 2. Fully works. We have this LG bar phone. It works. And then this Pantech AT&T phone. It also works. Then we got this LG Beacon. Also works fine, except for the keyboard, which probably seen better days. We got this Samsung Array, I think. And yeah, that's what works. Then we got my mom's old phone. This also fully works. I forgot to mention this is also my dad's one of my dad's old phones. Then we got the Samsung Haven. It also works perfectly fine. And these are the last two. This is a LG Verizon phone. And then this is a LG Gravity or something. It has a bloated battery, but it also works. Other than that. So yeah. Actually, wait, no, I lied. There's 4 more. This is an Alcatel. I forget what it was, but this is another one of the phones that my friend gave me. It was actually the one that he used before he got a new phone. And then we also have this Samsung T-Mobile phone. It also fully works. And then lastly are my 2 Motorola Razrs. One's on T-Mobile, one's on Verizon. Both of them work perfectly fine. So yeah, these are all my flip phones. Now it's time to move on to the smartphones. The early smartphones, that is. Alright, so for these next ones, I'm going to be sorting them by virtue of basically Android version, but first let's cover the Blackberries, since they're also kind of in this category of early smartphones. Sorry about that, that was a notification from one of the phones. But first, this is a Blackberry Curve, and this one had a bloated battery, but other than that it worked. Next is this other Blackberry, which my friend actually gave me. It's on Nextel, and this also fully works. So actually, it might be a better model of the phone that I have. And then lastly is this Blackberry Torch, and this also fully works. And yeah, these are all the Blackberries I have. Let's move on to the smart Android smartphones, which I'm going to be sorting them from Android like 2 to Android 4, since that's the highest version that doesn't support YouTube anymore. So first up is the Samsung Dart. This actually used to be my first ever Target bin find, and I'm surprised it's still working today. I mean, I'm not really surprised, but you get what I mean. Next is this LG Optimus M. This one also fully works. Then we have an LG Optimus T, also fully works. Whoops. Then we have this Htc Droid Incredible, also fully works. Most of these are, all these phones are on Android 2.2. This one's on Android 2.3. This is my old phone, my Casio GZ1 Commando. And yeah, it still fully works. Now let's move on to the Android 4 phones. First up, we'll just get this out of the way, since this is the only phone on Android 4.0. This is a Htc Evo 3D. Only issue with it is that it has a dead spot in the digitizer. Other than that, it works fine. Now let's move on to the Android 4.1 to 4.3 phones. So, first up is this UMX U671C. Fully works. Then we have this Motorola Droid Razr Max. Also fully works. Android 4.1.2. Both of these are on 4.1.2. Then we have this one, which is on Android 4.3. It's a Galaxy S3. And then lastly, we have my Huawei Ascend Mate 2, also on Android 4.3. Now let's move on to the Android 4.4 phones. So first up is this Droid Razr HD. Other than the cracked screen, it fully works. Next we have my LG G2, also fully works. And then this Sprint Galaxy S3 fully works, besides the cracked screen. And then we have my Motorola Droid Razr M, also fully works. And then lastly, for the older smartphones category, this is my only Windows phone. It's a Nokia Lumia 625, I think. I may be totally wrong, but yeah, it fully works. It's just, you can't really use any of these today because software updates and such. But yeah, these are all my legacy smartphones. So for the rest of the Android phones, I'm going to be sorting them by virtue of Android version. from 5 up to 11. That was a phone. Whoops. So first up is this Galaxy S4. I think it's dead right now, but it fully works. Next, we have a Samsung Galaxy Note 3. It's dead right now, but it works. Yeah, you can see it works right now. Yeah, it doesn't have a good battery. No, jeez. Yeah, forgive my style. It's best. Next, we have an LG Escape 2. It's dead right now, but it also works. Then we have a Motorola Moto E 2nd generation on Verizon. Fully works. But yeah, I forgot to mention. This one's on AT&T, this one's on Sprint, and this one's on Verizon. Next, we have this Moto G 3rd generation on Republic Wireless. On Android 5, fully works. 5.1 at least. And then we have this Moto X 2nd generation. It just shut off on me, but it also works perfectly fine. And yeah, moving on to Android 6 phones. Here's my S5 Active. Fully works. I replaced the camera cover, the back cover, and the charging port cover, so that's pretty cool. Next we have my Nexus 5. Mostly works, but the haptic motor's dead. But it's common on these phones, so I don't really care. Next is my Galaxy On 5. Also fully works. It was Google locked, but I bypassed it. I also forgot to mention, this one was also Google locked, which I bypassed too. Yeah, this one's dead. Oh well. Moving on to Android 7 phones. First up, this is a Nokia 2. It fully works. I got this from my workplace when they were gonna be disposing of their old devices. Next is my LG Phoenix 4. This one's dead. But yeah, it fully works. It's just dead. But yeah, both of these, this one I got from Target. These two I got from Target. This one was my old brother's. This one I got from a trade. This one I got from a phone lot. This one I got from Target. This one I got from AT&T. This one I got from Target. This one I got from Target. And then this is another phone that I got traded with. It's a Galaxy S6. It was one of my only trades with that phone guy YT. He's gone now. I don't know where he is. If you're watching this, just let me know. And then lastly up is this Galaxy S6 Edge. Found this in Target and it fully works, besides the correct screen. So yeah, that's all my Android 7 phones. Now for the Android 8 phones. So first up is this Galaxy S7 on T-Mobile. Yeah, it fully works, besides the damage. Can't see. Yeah, it's been through a lot. Next is my Galaxy J3 Star. Also fully works. Next is a Motorola E5 Play on consumer cellular. It fully works. And then lastly is my UMX U683CL. Also fully works. This is actually on 8.1 while the rest are on just Android 8. Now for the phones on Android 9, which I only have 3. First up is this Alcatel Insight. Has a DM buried error, but other than that it works. Next is my Motorola E6 on Boost Mobile. It has an unlocked bootloader, which has a bad key thing, but other than that it works perfectly fine. I got this in a trade, and I also got this from AT&T, and I got this from Target. Keep forgetting to say where I got these from, oh well. Next is this LG G6. This isn't the one I got from AT&T. I traded that with another friend. This one is I got another LG G6, which is this one for my cousin. And it works on Android 9, whereas the other one that I had was on Android 8. And I couldn't really update it. So yeah, these are... Actually, wait. I forgot 2 more. This is my LG Stylo 6. This is on Android 10. And yeah, it fully works. This actually used to be my main phone before I got something else. And lastly is my Google Pixel 2 XL. My only other Android 11 device. That isn't my main. But yeah, these are all of my current gen smartphones that are usable somewhat. Now let's move on to the Apple devices and Android tablets. So before we get into the Apple devices and iPads, I just want to show you 2 Android tablets that I have, which aren't really Android tablets in the sense they would think. First up is this Gittybuzz VTech Gittybuzz G1. This is on Android 6, but it runs a custom software, so yeah. And then the next one is this Amazon Kindle Fire HD 7 2013. Runs Android 4.2, 4.4.2, but like it runs with Fire OS, so yeah, and these are my Android tablets. Alright, so for the remaining Apple devices, I'll cover them by first iPods, then iPads, and then we'll get into iPhones. So first up in the iPod category, first one up is this Ipod Classic 4th generation. It's a 20 gigabyte, fully works. Next is the 2nd gen Nano, 4 gigabyte, fully works. And then we got 2 5th gen Nanos, both are 8 gig. And then we got 2 iPod Touches. One's the 4th generation and then the other's the 3rd generation. This one's 32 gigs, this one's 8 gigs. One's in much better condition than the other. Now let's cover the iPads. First up, these are the 2 legacy iPads. This is an iPad 2nd generation, 16 gigabyte, fully works on iOS 9.3.6. We got this iPad 4th generation on iOS 10.3.3, also 16 gigs, fully works. Then we got 2 iPad Airs on 12.5.2, I believe, or 12.5.1, I can't remember. Point is, they run Android 12, I have the black and white version. And these both fully work. Then we got two minis. A second gen mini and a first gen mini. This one's on 9.3.6, this one's on 12.5.2. Or 12.5.1, I can't remember. It's on the iOS 12. So yeah, these are all my Apple devices besides iPhones. Now to cover all of my iPhones. So first up, this is an iPhone 3GS, 16 gig. This one's on iOS 6.1.3. And then this is another 3GS, which I got from a trade. It's also 16 gigs, but this one's on iOS 6.1.6. Next is this iPhone 4S. This one's an 8GB model on iOS 7.1.2. This one is I think this one's, I have two 4S's, but one of them is a 32 gig and the other is a 16 gig. One's on iOS 9.3.5 and the other is on 9.3.6. I think this is the one that's 32 gigs and this is the one that's 16 gigs. I can't remember, but both work perfectly fine. Should have really powered these on before I showed them. Oh well. Next up, this is an iPhone 5C. This one's on iOS 10.3.3. I also had another 5C, which I gave to mom, which is up there, but I don't know where it is. That one's the yellow one. Okay, so this is the 16 gigabyte iPhone 4S. And this is the 32 gig iPhone 4S, so yeah. But this is the iPhone 5C. Fully works. Next I have two iPhone 5S's. This one is 16 gigabytes, 16 gig on iOS 12.5.2, I believe. No, this is on 12.5.5. So yeah. Next is this iPhone 5S on iOS 12.5.5. This one's a 32 gig, but the battery life on it has seen better days, such as literally 0%. So I'll get a replacement battery sometime later. Next up is this iPhone 6. This is a 64 gig. It's dead right now, but it works. This one's my dad's old phone. This is another iPhone 6, 64 gig. It's also dead, but it works. And then lastly, this is my iPhone 6S. That actually used to be my main, but I switched to a different 6S, which I'll get to soon after this. But yeah, this is actually one of the rare iPhone 6S's I have, since it's on iOS 10.3.3. And as you know, Apple only disabled the activation for iOS 9, so this is the last only usable iPhone version where you can reset it and it would work perfectly fine. Only issue with it is that the home button doesn't work. But I think that's just the virtue of the screen rather than the button itself. And then lastly, this is my iPhone 8, 256 gigabyte, iOS 15.2. I would switch to this, but I've just been hesitant to because the screen I got for it is starting to delaminate, which I didn't even know will be possible, but apparently it is. But yeah, I might switch to this after this video. It's a pretty good phone. But anyways, these are all my iPhones. Alright, now for the last category, which are actually my main devices. So first up, this is my venerable Ipod Classic 6th generation, 120 gig. Still fully works today. Next, this is my Galaxy A01. Still using it as my backup phone today. Not really backup, just as a media device. Next, this is my iPad Air 2nd generation on iOS 15.2. This also fully works. And lastly is my new main phone, which I neglected to show you before. This is my LG Velvet 5G. I got this for $220 on Amazon, and yeah, it's served me well since. Got a Ghost tech case for it and a screen protector. And the last phone, which I'm currently filming on right now, is an iPhone 6s on iOS 15.2, 128 gig. I'm probably not going to be using it for very long since I'm going to be switching to the iPhone 8. But yeah, that's the whole collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.